What's up, y'all? So, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video. Today we are going to be making $1,000 egg frittata. I just left the gym, so I need something high protein and low in calories, so I can go ahead and fuel my gains. Some of the items that we got for this recipe is, of course, gonna be the eggs. We got a little bit of cheese, onion. We're gonna put some cherry tomatoes in there, non-fat, zero flavor Greek yogurt. This is my favorite brand. It's a bunch of different brands, but this is my favorite one. Spinach, turkey sausage, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So we're gonna start off by dicing our onion. Ooh, it's not a good onion. So we gonna scrap this one. Ain't bad. So we gonna start by dicing our onion. Much better. So when dicing your onion, I like to leave the root part on there. It kind of hold it together. Peel all that off. I want these kind of fine. So honestly, it don't have to be the best chop, but the culinary scholar that I am, I want them kind of fine. So we're gonna go ahead and give this a chop. And baby, I use the whole onion for the whole side that I'm on. So we go cut this thing on down to the nub. Take that off, got a little bit of the core on it. And a lot of folk don't like cooking with onions. You need to grow up, because this is how you go add flavor to your dish. It's a bowl to put this in. So now our onion is done, diced up. I'm gonna just do a quick little rough chop on this spinach, because I don't want it to disappear in my pan. So we just go do a quick little chop, help the wilting process along the way. But like I said, we don't want to cut it up too much, because that shit will disappear. Oops, sorry. That thing will disappear. I'll put that back in there. All right. And we're going to move on to our cherry tomatoes. All of the vegetables we go saute except for the tomatoes, because I don't want the seeds and stuff to just wilt away into the dish. So we're going to add these once we put the actual frittata together. And for those of you that don't know what a frittata is, you probably done had a quiche, which has a crust on it. A frittata does not. So my goal for today is to make something high protein, low in calories. So I decided to 86 the crust. And I'm in the service industry, so 86 just means to do without or don't have. And these tomatoes is gonna add like a slight bit of sweetness to the dish. We love flavor around these parts. My cherry tomatoes is all diced up, or halved, rather. I think that's all the cutting we got to do. So now we're gonna get the eggs ready. So we're gonna turn on our food scale. A food scale is gonna be very important to you on a journey of trying to, lose weight, build muscle, and lose fat and build muscle. A scale is gonna be very important to you. So we want to get our $1,000 eggs, because y'all know they are sky high right now. All right. Oh shoot. So what you want to do first, though, I ain't do it yet, but you want to put your oven on 375 and preheat it. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and get that started. Once you put your bowl on here, you want to make sure you tare it, which basically means just get it back to zero, the scale back to zero. Our goal is to do 250 whole eggs in grams, and then 100 grams in just egg whites alone. So that's going to be roughly about 3 egg whites, and then maybe like around 5 or 6 eggs for the 250 grams. So let's go ahead and get that started. That's 53 grams. So my phone hates me, but we are literally at a sweet spot right now. We at 355 grams total for our egg yolks and our egg whites. About 255 for the egg yolks, the whole egg, and then 100 grams for the egg whites, like I said. So yeah, now we're gonna add in our non-fat Greek yogurt, which is going to be an additional source of protein, but it also adds like a creaminess to the eggs, and it's going to help it fluff it up. Let's get this bad boy open. And we want to add about 60 grams of this. Perfect. And of course, we're going to season. We're going to do a little salt and black pepper. I love pepper, so you ain't got to do as much as I did. I like to break my egg yolk up just a little bit before we actually start whisking. And then we're going to get in there. Now, I don't want to overbeat my eggs, so I'm going to stop about right here. The non-fat Greek yogurt is not going to be fully incorporated just because I don't want to overbeat my eggs, but it's going to still do the job. Ew, slimy. So we're going to sit these to the side. So my microphone died on me, so we're going to have to do a voiceover for this portion. Y'all just give me some grace. Like I said, this is my first video. We're going to get it together by the second one. But we got a hot pan here. Season that up with some avocado oil. And then we go throw those onions in there. The goal here is to get them translucent, which in turn will have them a little bit more sweeter for the dish. And of course, it's going to pack in a bunch of flavor. You don't want to burn them. You kind of just want the onion to be a little clear. And we going to do this before we add in our spinach. So we just sweating them down. Okay. There's a common misconception that when eating healthy, you have to give up flavor, creativity, and excitement on your plate. And I'm just here to tell you that that's all a lie. When I started on my journey, I was told that I needed to eat protein rice, protein potatoes, protein and this, protein and that. But in my ebook, Fort Fitness, I made it my mission to incorporate meals that I loved, but just in a healthier way. So everything is going to be high protein, low in calorie, and then you're going to also get the macro breakdown for each individual recipe. Everything is brand specific, so it takes all of the guesstimation out of, oh, can I have this though, or can I have that? And it also has some notes and substitutions for certain things that certain people may not like. So if you want the ebook, I highly suggest you run over to my link tree in my Instagram profile and then also on my YouTube channel. Summer is on our bootstraps. I'm not going to lie to you, but we can go ahead and get started. And preparation for wintertime fine. That's a new one. I ain't never heard nobody say they getting fine for the winter. But, you know, around here, we got goals, and then we'll be fully set for summer next year. It all starts with one plate. And like I said earlier, we love flavor around here. So I'm about to hit this spinach with a little Miss Dash original blend. And no, I am not sponsored, but this is a go-to for me. So we go sprinkle that on around. It is 0 salt. So, you know, you can add a generous amount of that, and that ain't gonna do nothing but add a little bit more flavor to it, okay? So we kind of at like a sweet spot right now for our spinach. We can go ahead and add in our turkey sausage. Now, these are turkey sausage crumbles. They are already cooked. So I'm just, you know, bringing them up to temperature, adding a little color to them. So we go add those in there and then get that all mixed up. While we're bringing the turkey sausage to temperature and adding that color to it, we want to make sure that we don't wilt our spinach too much, simply because when we put the frittata in the oven, the spinach is still going to be cooking. So we're going to let this sit and do its third thizzle. So we going to give it a quick mix all together. Everything is sauteed beautifully. Our onions are sweated out. Spinach is wilted. And our sausage has browned. We go turn the heat off, and then we go begin removing it from the pan. So I know y'all see all that steam coming from the mixture. What we don't want to do is add our eggs to this directly, because you'll end up with scrambled eggs, and that's not the goal. We want a beautifully baked frittata. So what I'm going to do is remove everything from the pan. I'm going to let this sit and cool for maybe like 2 to 3 minutes, just until it gets to a temperature that when I add the eggs, it does not scramble them, okay? So that's what we're doing here. Okay, so now that our vegetable and meat mixture has cooled down, we're going to go ahead and start assembling this bad boy. So we're going to take our glass pan. We're going to grease this with some oil. We're going to make sure every part of it is covered, okay? So now we're going to go ahead and add our eggs to our cooled down meat and vegetable mixture. Got to make sure we get all them $1,000 eggs, because like I said, you know, it's high. Add in our tomatoes. Give it a quick little mixy mix just so we can have everything incorporated. And once everything is all mixed up, we are going to begin by transferring that to our baking dish, okay? Making sure we get everything in there, okay? So once we have everything inside of the baking dish, I can tell that the tomatoes are kind of like all on one side, but we want a bite of everything once we cut this thing open. So I'm going to just give it an additional mix just to make sure everything is spread out. So here we have 20 grams of shredded cheese. It's just going to add a little bit of extra creaminess to the dish. And I love cheese in my eggs, so it was a no-brainer that they had to go in there. So we go put that on top, and then we're going to put it in the oven. So I know y'all remember our oven is preheated at 375. So we gonna go ahead and put that in there for about 22 to 25 minutes. We want everything to be set, no runniness. And of course, once we pull it out, the egg may be a little poofy, but once it cools down, that will go away. So we're gonna put that in the oven and let it go. So our frittata should be done. It's cooked in the oven at 375 for about 22 to 25 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and pull it out the oven and see what we got. Oh, she's pretty. This top. So here we have our frittata. I can already tell it's complete because there was no leakage or anything like that when I just flipped it over. She's firm in all spots. So we're gonna let it sit for like about 5 minutes or so, and then we go cut into this bad boy. Also, while it sits, being that the dish is still hot, it's still gonna have like carryover heat and cook some more. So just be mindful of that when you're actually cooking it, about that carryover heat, because you don't want your frittata, you want your eggs to be cooked, but you don't want it to be overcooked and dry. Kind of still want it a little moist. Gotta find that sweet spot.
5 minutes later.
So let's go ahead and get into it and see what we got. And again, this recipe and many more like it, that's high protein, low in calorie, are all in the ebook. My ebook called Fort Fitness. So yeah, I'm low-key scared to touch the pot still, so we're gonna just hold it like that. And remove it like this. Ooh, that's pretty. So we gonna put it on our plate. And you know we eat with our eyes first. Yeah, this is pretty, and it could be consumed already, but I wouldn't be me if I ain't add a little parsley on there. So now we have a beautiful high protein, low calorie frittata. So it wouldn't be right if I ain't tasted on camera for y'all, so let's get to it. We're gonna take our all of the flavors is there. That's good. Get you that cookbook, and you can start having meals like this and fuel them gains, okay? I don't know what else to say. It's delicious. See y'all. See y'all again for the next episode of, I think I'm gonna title this Fort Fitness videos, or I'll come up with a name. But see y'all again. Just remember to go and cop that ebook, and you can start making meals like this.